Well, my darkest and most scariest fever dream could be realised of Arsenal winning the Champions League, and they will get congratulations and their flowers begrudgingly from me. Jan, how's it going? Welcome back to Football Yannick. But we'll also reflect on a very, very positive and exciting tie between Internazionale and Bayern Munich. Inter winning, drawing 2-2 on the night, and San Siro winning 4-3 on AG against the Bavarians, those big lugging Germans. And yeah, I fancy Inter, bro. Like, literally, the way they seem, like their canniness, that sort of robust. Just feel like they got the sand to navigate a tie, of which Real Madrid don't. We're going to speak about this. I think Real Madrid have embarrassed themselves, by the way, with their like big bollocks swinging, you know what they've been swinging around. Remontada. There was no... Spoiler, no remontada. Arsenal missing Gabriel. Arsenal playing with Mikel Merino up front. And the Galacticos... I mean, at time of recording, it's 1-1. We'll check that up in a moment. Also, I just want to say, gang, Newcastle United played tonight, and we're speaking about Champions League. They slapped up Crystal Palace 5-0. They will get Champions League football themselves on the subject of Champions League. And Crystal Palace, I ain't going to talk about this game. This is fleeting, yeah. Crystal Palace... Just quickly, Crystal Palace had the best away defence record in the Premier League this season. Crystal Palace had the best defensive record in the Premier League in 2025. And in the last 2 games, they've conceded 10 goals. 10 goals, bro, Crystal Palace. And yeah, they were supposed to be, they had the best away defense in the league. 2 away games, 10 goals conceded. Thanks for nothing, you muggy little Eagles. And of course, they're playing Man City in the FA Cup. They'll get slapped there. They're on the beach. Oh, the Palace fans must be fuming. Big up Toon fans, ruining my time as a Chelsea fan, but having a lovely time. They're a great team, excuse me. I've eaten so much food, it's up to here. And so if I... delicately and quietly burp a couple of times. So look, yeah, well done, never Tottenham. Never well done, Tottenham. I mean, to be honest, Tottenham have got nothing to be said well done to. Toon, Newcastle, well done you, man. We are speaking about Champions League, though. By the way, thanks for hanging out with me here. Subscribe. Why not? Give us some sweet love and support. There's daily content here on this channel, Football Yannick, and you might be interested. No pressure, but if you are, like and subscribe. Look, let's start off with some nice news. Inter drew with a Bayern Munich. That beautiful British boy. Look at that. Look at that score sheet. Out in Bavaria, in the German land. It's those beautiful British boys. Hazard Kane, Harold Kane, and Eric Dyer dunking on the Italianos in the San Siro. And Eric Dyer's first goal for Bayern Munich. And it is in the San Siro in the Champions League. I don't think he meant it. I think he was trying to head it across goal. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is, of course, Vincent Kompany. Still, wet behind the ears. Green manager, went from getting relegated with Burnley to somehow managing Bayern Munich, but we won't do that. A very, very strong Bayern side. Muller's final season with the Bundesliga superstars. Kane up top, Michael Olise, fantastic. Zane, who obviously Koeman rotated with. Muller, Kimmich back in midfield. Goretzka. I mean, that's a great Bayern team, innit? Yeah, bro, this Inter side, though, I like it. There's something, look, for Mkhitaryan, he's got to be 57 by now. What's he doing there? And Hakan Çalhanoğlu, like these man, I know Barella's very good. Matteo Darmian, going into a semi-final of the Champions League. Probably, was he in, I'm assuming he was there for the final a couple of years ago. It's great stuff. It's lovely stuff. Pavard playing in a back three. I'm pretty sure he's an attacking fullback, isn't he? Jan Sommer in goal. Great name, Jan. Great name. Yeah, doing it on the night though, yeah. Lautaro Martinez scoring, he's just the boy. I do think he is one of the underrated strikers in the last 3 years. But, you know, obviously when Lukaku went to Chelsea from Inter, Lukaku was sick. Obviously he was pony for us. He did that interview. He's just a bit mental. He behaved like nothing short of a penis, really. Excuse my language. Even though, is that bad language? Referencing the male genitalia through its normal... okay, you stop, man. Point of being, I thought Lautaro has just often not really been getting the flowers he deserves. One man of the match here, though. Player of the match. Goal scored, of course, by Lautaro and Pavard. Ooh, up here. Lautaro and Pavard, and then the beautiful British boys, Dyer and Kane, scoring there. Lots of Bayern pressure, but kind of afforded in a way, because as soon as these two goals were scored by Internazionale, they were, you know, they're head in the tie, bro. Very even. This looks like I mean, I looked at the expected goals being even Stevens. Excuse me. But I do look at the big chances created. And there's 4 to the home team, 0 to Bayern Munich. I don't think Vincent Kompany will be at Bayern Munich long. I also think, like, my word, they need to win the Bundesliga, because they lost it last season for the first time in 87 years. Not entirely sure that's correct. Possibly a decade. But still, wow. Owen Wilson all over the gaff, mate. Harry Kane curse, of course, the first season he decides to leave Spurs, goes to Bayern Munich, doesn't win the title, still goes trophyless, mental, chicken oriental, they're out of the cup, they're out of the Champions League, boy howdy. I'm just going to quickly check. So, so they are in the Bundesliga, they're 6 points clear against Leverkusen. There are, 6 games to go, something like that. Yeah, they could bottle a 6-point lead, but you'd think they would win that against Leverkusen. You don't know though, but should they tie that up, should they get that sewn up, it will be great. I've just seen Arsenal have won in the Santiago Bernabeu. Let's have a look at that. Lol, 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 lol. Bukayo Saka and winger, for me, relatively underwhelming winger in terms of the comparison quality of Bukayo Saka. Beautiful, incredible quality on the right-hand side. In fact, let's have a look here. Yeah? Miguel Merino with 2 assists. I mean, this guy... I mean, like, obviously... He's an unsexy signing, like, historically. Wasn't he in the Prem before and he went away and he won the Euros? Arsenal bought him as a midfielder, didn't really cut it in the midfield, and somehow he's just been this really, like, twist of fate centre forward for them. He's got 2 assists in the Santiago Bernabeu in the Champions League quarter-final to see Arsenal win 5-1 on Aguirre. We're going to get to Real Madrid in a moment. Those man ain't evading anything. But you don't understand why Arsenal want to buy a proper centre forward. I've always said in the attack they've got an amazing functional team, Arsenal, under Arteta, an amazing talismanic right winger, but they need a striker, they need a left winger. But in this Champions League game, the right winger's got a goal involvement, the left winger's got a goal involvement, the ruddy central striker, central midfielder, it's got both the assists and has one player of the match. Raya in goal, of course, Kyrgios come in for the absent Gabriel, but this is their kind of full strength at the moment, including Lewis Skelly. And here are look at the state of this backline. The sorry Galacticos. I mean, Rudiger, Vasquez, Alaba, Raul Asensio, in front of Courtois, who for my money is the best goalkeeper in the world, as much as I begrudgingly say that. Look at this front 6, gang. Yeah? Bellingham, Aurélien Tchouameni, Fede Valverde, Rodrigo, Mbappe, Vinny freaking Jr. All a bunch of wet sausages, mate. I must say, like, they were 3-0 down to Arsenal. And granted, it was a little bit of a weird game because Declan Rice had never scored a free kick before in his life, and he scored 2 worldies in like the space of a few minutes. It is like one of those moments in time that's like, well, that's not normal. But the truth is, Real Madrid have been bad. Yeah? They're still in this... Speaking of title races and league titles, they're still in the La Liga title race, but they're 4 points of Barcelona. Of course, Barcelona are in the semi-final against Inter. So they've got different fish to fry, which might help Real Madrid catch that 4 points. The goal difference is profound. Like 55 plus goal difference for Barca, 33. So 22 extra. So if it's level on points, Barca will walk it easily. But Real Madrid will be going all for the title because, I mean, they lost to Valencia at home in the Bernabeu 2-1. Valencia, who currently are... where are they? So they've climbed up to the 13th, but they've found a bit of form now. But when Barca played them, they beat them like 6-7-1 or something like that. It's crazy. I just don't think Real Madrid have been that good in terms of how they have been. And they've obviously came out after this doing all the remontada, you know, like I said, sausage swinging. They had the social media page going 90 minutes is a long time in the Bernabeu, and I get it, gas themselves 15 times they won it, but it was a bit cringe, all to lose 2-1 in their own backyard, baby. And look, it did start in the opening 10 minutes, yeah. It did. I mean, they didn't have a shot on target there, Real Madrid. They are embarrassing, aren't they? In the opening 10 minutes, there was loads and loads and loads of Real Madrid pressure. They were like, yeah, we believe we're going to do this, yeah. And then, of course, they concede a penalty. It looked a bit soft, but whatever. And what is the biggest disgrace about this was VAR spent 5 minutes looking at it just to tell them to look at the screen. Just tell them to look at the screen immediately then. What's the freaking point? Maybe there was an offside or something. Either way, it was boring AF. So, yeah, and then Saka, he knows they're 3-0 up. I think that he's laid to rest that penalty miss in the England final, but I wonder if he wants a little bit of swagger with penalties and he thinks, I'm going to Panenka Courtois, and he messes it up, doesn't he? He sort of like Panenka's it slightly to the... He messes up the Panenka. If he did keep it central, it might have worked, but he sort of puts it slightly to the side. Courtois dives, and it's poor. It's pretty embarrassing. But he has his own laugh later because he scores a goal. Martinelli scores a goal. You know, Marino gets 2 assists. Vinny Jr. does get 1 goal to make it 1-1. When is this? In the 67th minute. They got 23 minutes to go. They're still 3 goals down. And they've looked like they couldn't do anything. And to be honest, that Vinny Jr. goal comes because Saliba drops a bollock and is pretty embarrassing himself. But we have to say it. Congratulations, Arsenal. I got loads of mates that are gooners. I said to all of them, boys, you're gonna be not only even if Arsenal gets it stuck up them and they get shaken or whatever, they're 3 goals ahead and Arteta's got them locked down. He's got them as a robust team, way better defensively than Real Madrid. And like Valencia rocked up there and won the other day. I just thought, you know, it doesn't matter. Like you could literally in that team, you could take out Saka and put in Noanieri, the teenager. Take out Martinelli, put in Trossard. I mean, you could even have put in Jorginho in there. I'm trying to think of or maybe not Zinchenko, he's been pretty poor. But like Tierney, definitely. You could have put like a pretty solid Arsenal-y B team out there and they would have drawn, narrowly lost, but won the tie comfortably. And Real Madrid, yeah, who've never beaten Arsenal. I think this is the first goal they've scored against Arsenal. Bearing in mind an Arsenal team who haven't won the Premier League, their domestic league, in 2 decades, who've never won this competition, the Champions League. I don't even think they've won any European trophy of note. So even though Arteta has made them into a robust, mechanical, good team, yeah, this is really bad for Real Madrid. But they deserve immense credit, Arsenal, absolutely, because they're just a good, solid team. It was a boring AF game. I was much more paying attention to Inter Bayern because of, you know, what was on the line and how the game was being played. But, you know, for me, it wasn't a great spectacle. Arsenal fans, they've just beaten Real Madrid 5-1 in aggregate, winning 3-0 at home and 2-1 away at Real Madrid. They will not care. Rightly so. And that's the way it is. Especially knockout football. Can Arsenal win the Champions League? Yes, they can. Yes, they can. I think they'll, because of what happened to PSG at Aston Villa, they look like they got well and truly Premier Leagued. And Arsenal can Premier League PSG. I love watching PSG. I've been very, very transparent. I hate, the sort of sports washing project and all this, that, and the other, and it was always easy to laugh at them when they were the failed Galacticos. But I love this PSG team. I love Desiree Doué. I love the midfield, Vitinha, and the Portuguese lad. Even the defenders are great, and the fullbacks. I've always liked. Here's Nuno Mensch, who is the Moroccan right back. Hakimi, that's it. I've always loved him. I think Tuchel wanted to sign him to Chelsea, even when we had Reece James, but I think he wanted to play Reece James as a right centre-back and Hakimi as a right wing-back. They're such a likeable and enjoyable team to watch. But I just think Arsenal could just Premier League them and just sort of make them beat themselves. Arsenal could win the Champions League, which would probably, obviously, if they do it, they'll deserve it. And it will be finally after, because Chelsea are winning European trophies since the 70s and a couple in the 90s, and of course Europa Leagues and Champions Leagues under the Abramovich era. They finally might get that Champions League, which would be sad for most people except Arsenal fans. But I'm big enough to offer my congratulations. Deserved winners in this tie, and I think Real Madrid have embarrassed themselves. Let me know what you think. You're all welcome here, so do subscribe. Keep it locked. I'll see you back here soon, hopefully. Peace.